Deductible opinions.
Welcome. Welcome to the start again. I gotta go. I can't. Everybody, we need to retake it. Okay, my tongue got tied. I tried to put my tongue in one direction. It went into a different direction.
It happens, man.
Dude, Liam
words
from One
didn't come
Direction
out
died. Oh my god.
Did he really? Shut up.
He fell off a balcony.
Yeah, he fell off a balcony.
Are you guys,
Buenos Aires.
are you guys
maybe.
legit right now?
That's legitimate
I'm not joking,
news.
dude.
Has that just happened?
It happened this morning.
Like 12 hours ago.
Oh, I didn't know
Yep.
that. Damn. One
Keep this in
Direction.
the pod too.
Wow.
All our One
Welcome.
Direction fans will be devastated.
Welcome to the Deductible Opinions Pod. Welcome back to the Deductible Opinions Pod. Each week, I am joined with my hosts, Jordan and Zach, as we travel through the cinematic landscape that is cinema. Not good. Not good.
We'll work on it. We'll workshop it.
Jordan, how are you
give
today?
some notes.
Ill again,
That
but
can't
I
be
am
real.
on the tail end, so I'll be fine.
My father asked me, and he said, "Is the sickness thing? Is that just a gag?"
You
And
think
you
it's a joke?
You think-
Marcus, I have a 2-year-old child.
He said to me, "Surely that can't be real."
Mhm.
And I want our viewers to know that is real.
Marcus has fathered and raised children.
Yes. Yes.
Is he? Are you unaware? Did this not happen? Is this new?
He doesn't get sick. He's one of those people that never gets sick.
Dude,
He's
that's
got that immune
crazy.
system.
Yeah, it would be nice to have one of those. I have Crohn's disease, and I'm on medications to kill my immune system. So
Well,
go
he
figure,
got
man.
it.
You know,
He
go figure.
wasn't born that way, but he got it after they blasted him with some sort of immunotherapy when he had
bullshit,
the
dude.
big C. So there you go. Zach, talking about the big C. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling powerful.
Feeling powerful?
Feeling strong. I'm feeling healthy. Healthy. I'm feeling healthy.
Yeah.
It sounds it.
Yeah.
Believe
I
me.
did not pick up any illness from PAX 2024.
PAX 2024, which we
2024.
we just visited this weekend, and I'm your host, Nick. As always, the three of us here, old reliable.
Are you sick, Nick?
I'm not
Did you,
sick.
did you get a foreign Japanese virus?
I was sick when I was in the Japans.
So you did catch a Japanese bug?
Yeah, there was no sickness in Tokyo, but then we went to Osaka and everyone was coughing like crazy, and then we caught it.
Interesting, dude.
Well, I caught it, and then I gave it to my fiance.
Do they have one of them facilities where they create super viruses over there?
Probably.
Like Wuhan.
I don't know.
You know what I'm
Maybe potentially.
All
They
I'm saying
didn't,
is, man, you should have told us this before you went to PAX with us.
It wasn't a regular tourist spot. If they did have one, it wasn't
Gotcha.
on the tourist guide. So.
So you weren't eating pangala in a food market? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was
Okay,
not.
cool.
I was not.
Just checking, bro. Just checking.
So we all visited PAX AU this weekend, last weekend, our weekend, some weekend. Zach, what did you think?
It was certainly an event.
It was an event.
It was an event. I got to run around, check out some board game stuff. We saw a Civ 7 panel.
Well, I have a question.
Please
Please.
go.
We received a media pass
Yes.
as a podcast,
Yes.
as a group, because
Yes.
of our influence that is social.
yes.
Yes.
Do we need to disclose this?
We had a media pass.
Are our thoughts our own? Because mine certainly are not. I'm bought and paid for.
You both have free thoughts, but I am a PAX media controlled drone, I believe.
Yeah, you're a shill.
Yeah.
Yes.
By squad ups.
We received a media pass. 80% of our audience are Australians. I mean, in the right demos. We have an older demographic. We got the 21s to 40s. That's the peak spending demo. So we're able to nab a media pass. But just Zach, just our producer extraordinaire.
So anything Zach says about PAX, do take with a grain of salt.
He could be legally held responsible for any
100%.
of his opinions. So we had a good weekend, though.
It was a fun time.
I didn't hate the Civ panel
Yep.
because I plan on buying the game anyway.
Yeah.
And I think Civ 6 looked like dog shit. And I'm excited that this is going to look better.
Okay.
I too am buying Civ, I think, probably day one. And I would have liked to know more about the gameplay more than like the surface level stuff that was kind of talked about. But yeah, I'm buying it anyway. So whatever.
And I shall not be buying it day one.
Smart man. Wait for reviews. Always.
Yeah, I mean,
smart,
you didn't buy
smart
Civ
call.
6.
I did not buy Civ 6. I don't.
And you probably look in time. I think you won that round because I did and I regretted it.
Yeah, I would argue that most people don't actually have fun with that franchise. It's more. It's like. I mean, maybe you have fun. Do you have fun when you play the lotto? Do you have
if
fun
I'm
when you play the
playing
slots?
with people, like me and Britta played, I know it's a good time. Playing by yourself is degenerate and filthy, and if anyone does that,
it's like playing the pokies. You just one more turn.
It's disgusting. Yeah, they're filthy
one
animals.
more turn at the slaps.
Who are you gonna play with? You gotta wait and.
Yeah, I'll get Britta on board. Me and Zach, we'll get a game going.
Yeah, we'll get a game going.
I mean, I'll buy it if you guys want to play a game.
Yeah, dude, peer pressure is so easy on me, bro.
I mean, speaking of peer pressure, boys,
hit me.
Star Wars Unlimited.
Yes.
We heavily invested in Star Wars Unlimited at PAX. It is probably my PAX highlight.
I enjoyed
that was the best part of PAX.
I enjoy Star Wars Unlimited. I think that's a fun little trading card game. I haven't played many trading card games. I've done a few drafts of Magic the Gathering. The draft format is the way to go.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I legitimately think that draft format is the best way to play any trading card game because it just puts everyone at a level playing field. You get to crack packs. There's no net decking or anything like that. Yeah, it was fun to live I know long-time listener Charles' experience, and it was good to finally make good and drafting at PAX after wanting to do it for like 7 years.
We have been saying it for a while.
For a long time.
Damn, dude. What
else do we do? I mean, there's a broader question to be asked, and that is, will PAX even last another year? Because that was fucking abysmal.
No, look, it wasn't abysmal. It wasn't abysmal.
But I was shocked at the lack of larger devs. I cannot believe Nintendo was not there. Sony was not there. Microsoft had the most unusual booth, but whatever.
Initially, when we first started going to PAX in Australia, it was a 2 to 3 day event, and there's stuff you could do for 2 to 3 days. And slowly that has kind of reduced down to a day and a half. This is the first event where it felt like a day would be more than enough to cover everything on the show floor. Look, is that necessarily an issue? I mean, maybe not. Maybe that's better. Not. It is an issue for them potentially selling tickets.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I think last year, I believe 2 of the days they actually sold out. Am I wrong? I vaguely remember 2 days selling out. Maybe the Friday didn't. This year, I think Friday and Sunday were both not sold out.
I would say that I would still recommend going to PAX.
Oh, it's a good time. If PAX is back next year, I will be going.
100%. So here, we look at things here with a critical eye. That's what happens when you do a review podcast. Your critical eye kind of gets developed, and sometimes that can almost makes you sound more negative than you are. It was a fun time, but it was just, as you were saying, a little less people there that appeal to us. Maybe it's now trying to appeal more to a younger audience. There was streaming equipment there.
Maybe. I mean, there was a lot of people, a lot of booths selling, which is always kind of the case, but it seemed like more of it this year. Huge indie section, which isn't a bad thing. My issue with the indie section is there's always usually 1, sometimes 2 stations to play at. It is virtually impossible to actually get onto an indie game to play it.
Now, you guys convinced me to play it while I was there. And for a little bit of information for those, I just came back from a holiday, 3-week holiday. So haven't exercised like at all in 3 weeks. It was in Japan. It was a lot of walking, but no weightlifting or anything. I'm a very tall, heavy guy. I'm over 100 kilos. And there was a game there these guys got me to play called Squat Op. Was that it? Squat Op.
Squat Ops.
And the premise of this game is that it has a Metal Gear Solid type skin. very, very similar to Metal Gear Solid. And you have a Wii remote that you attach to your leg. I could barely get it around my leg, which is probably alarming to begin with. Probably show that maybe the game is not for people like me. But you have to squat every time you want to move. And if an enemy finds you, you have to do a squat hold to hide, and you have to jump to like run away from enemies. And so over the course of the demo, it's only a 3 round demo. I did 100 squats. Now, I hadn't exercised in a while, and I was destroyed for 2 days afterwards. My quads were killing me, which happens when you don't exercise for a while. But yeah, that was pretty bad.
The dude Zach was speaking to, or possibly the dude you were speaking to, was saying the game is kind of designed for people to do like a level a day, because that's like how many squats a reasonable person should probably do. And you just cranked out 3?
Not only did I crank out 3, he made me crank out 3. That was the demo that they had. So if it's meant to be 1 a day, then the demo was probably not ideal.
That's what one of them literally said that.
There weren't any game mechanics that were introduced over the 3 levels. It was still just squatting.
Yeah.
I don't like fitness games, so it's not for me. I have VR. I don't like the boxing games because they're too exhausting. I like working out. I like lifting weights and stuff, but video game exercise has never been for me. The game didn't trick me into squatting. I was very aware that I was squatting. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know,
there's certainly a market for people, I think, because some people do like that whole gamified exercise thing, but I just don't know if this is the way to do it. That said, I'm a big fan of Metal Gear Solid, so I did like the vibes of it.
Yeah, I think for me, if it's an exercise game, the exercise should be, you need to do it to do something positive in the game. It shouldn't be you need to squat to walk, because that's just silly. You know, for a lighter weight person, you can pump out 100 squats, bodyweight squats. If you don't weigh very much, it's fine. But most gamers are heavy boys, and I just think that it's anyway, it's not for me. I don't know how. I'm sure it'll do well. I'm sure it'll do well. You know, Wii Sports and stuff was huge, but
I'm adding it to my Steam wish list right now.
That's crazy. I mean, you did say at the thing that's something you might play.
I don't think I will play it, but I've wishlisted it in support.
What else happened at PAX, man?
What else happened at PAX? We didn't get bad coffee this year.
I was disappointed.
First year we never had bad coffee.
This was a tradition I wanted to introduce, and Nick poo-pooed it instantly.
Well, trying the bad coffee.
Correct. Because what if it's no longer bad?
It was a bit of a culture shock coming back from Japan to Melbourne, where it's like, oh, you want a park? $25. Oh, you want a bottle of water? $5. Like, yeah, we don't do it.
I mean, that is convention pricing, but yeah.
Yeah, you're going to get stung no matter what you're going.
Anyway, but PAX was good. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, we had a good time.
I did like the extra room to maneuver. Usually those walkways are probably at least 1, possibly 2 meters narrower. And I assume they were able to have them so wide because of the lack of booths. But yeah, that was nice.
I do agree with what you said before about we can talk about it some more, because we can always cut this out to another episode if it's too long, about the indie games being enjoyable, but it's very hard to get a game.
And I don't know. I mean, PAX can't really do much about that. The indie developers probably don't have the funds to get bigger booths. So I don't know. You just got to wait in line, I guess.
I think the issue is that the indie game people who are hosting it are not, they're just doing it for fun or whatever. They're not really.
Well, they're also not. They're also not salesmen. They're developers.
They're not doing it. They're not doing it properly. I've done a little bit of research into it. I tried to make a game, not very far, but just a little bit of interest in it. If it's a marketing event, you should be actively encouraging people to line up, and often when you're at PAX, you've got to try and get someone's eye. So that's more the way they run it.
Yeah.
that's up to each individual person. Like I remember when some of them, the more serious developers went there. Like I remember when Hollow Knight was there, they were actively having people line up and saying, "Oh, you want to play next? We'll get you ready."
Yep.
They were actively doing that. Whereas I think of some of these other booths, not as much trying to do that. So either way, that's up to them. They market the way they want to market.
True. A lack of AAA demos is kind of disappointing. Like I have zero interest in Final Fantasy. What else was there? Like was there a Sonic game?
There was an upcoming Sonic game at the Sega booth, I realized in hindsight, but that's Sonic.
And there was 2 Point Museum, which you could have played, but you chose not to.
I did choose not to.
There was another game. I don't remember what its name was though. But yeah.
I mean, look, for a social gathering and hang out with the boys and playing some cards, I do enjoy going to PAX, but I was disappointed at the lack of larger titles around. But what can you do? I'm guessing either they're not spending money, or who knows? Maybe they don't have games to demo at the moment.
Well, it is a poor kind of release time. I don't think there is a lot coming out.
I don't think there is
in the immediate future. And I think you're right. Like my favorite thing about PAX is just playing boards with the boys. Like,
I mean, that's what we spend, 60, 70% of our time doing.
Yeah. If only they had just dropped a new Zelda game.
If only.
Where was Nintendo? A Zelda game we've all been playing. But look, I think we've spoken enough about video games. So let's go into some more video games. I had a couple of questions about our last podcast, or maybe our last second podcast, where Jordan was talking about WoW. And I was talking about how I think WoW is like one of especially the earlier versions, one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And asked if I'm playing, etc. I don't play anymore. I'm an old school WoW player.
What was the last expansion you ever played? You jumped on board like maybe 4 ago with me randomly.
So I played WoW original, which was the best for me. The Burning Crusade, which was good. I rated pretty heavily in that. I quit in Wrath of the Lich King. I didn't play any other ones. Then you guys got me to jump on for I don't know.
It might have been
it's the one
Mr.
with the
Pandaria or something.
No, I don't think it was that one. One with the war mode.
I can't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Anyway,
maybe Warlords of Draenor, Firelands. I don't know, one of the two. All I know is we had a great time griefing people in dungeons, dude. Because I was healing and you were tanking, and we would just stop mid dungeon and refuse to continue unless someone dropped out or
if they were pulling and not like letting us tank and stuff. Not let us play the game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for me. The way that they
That's fair.
Changed the more modern way that World of Warcraft is now.
You can genuinely play the game solo now.
You can see the loop more easily, and there was always a loop. There was always a loop, right? There's always a loop to keep you playing, keep you addicted. But the loop is so clear right in front of your face. They used to hide it behind fun, but now you just see it. And the item level, you get the exact same item, but it's got +1 stat because it's 5 points more. It's just not for me. I don't vibe that so much.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I have since the last recording, I have not played the game again. I basically maxed out level, and I mean, if I were to continue, I probably would have had to play with like Mark or just find a group to play with. But a solo game, it is not enjoyable.
Yeah. But all that said, what are we here for, Zach? Why are we here?
Why are we here?
Because it's All Hallows Eve, or close to.
Well, it's the spooky season.
It's the spooky season. In the last episode that was deleted and that you'll never hear because of the technical issue, I said that I wanted to pick a Halloween episode for the next episode. And so we've done that, because even though the episode was deleted, it still happened. So this week we're going to listen to Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat.
This movie was not a treat. Sorry, I apologize. Continue.
Trick or Treat is a film that asks and answers one question. What if Mike Myers had the help that he desperately needed all those years ago? The film follows different Halloween stories, all occurring on one night, featuring werewolves, zombies, vampires, and of course a child wearing a burlap sack. All this occurs non-linearly, which means that I and studio audiences have to keep asking Zach, what's going on? Please join us this Hallows Eve in asking, trick or treat? Trick or treat?
Trick or treat?
Trick or treat.
Damn, Jordan, sounds like you didn't like this movie.
Jumped
Jumped in there? Not a fan?
I enjoyed it. It was a dumb movie though.
Okay.
That's my immediate response.
Interesting. Zach.
Look, I had a good time as well. I will acknowledge your points, Jordan, of it being a bit silly.
Thank you for doing that.
But I think it's all in the holiday spirit. You know, this is a bit of a homage to the genre, you know?
Yeah.
You know, you've seen it all before, but it's an amalgamation of everything we've seen, and it's kind of done in a lovingly tribute kind of way.
Yeah. See, I haven't seen it all before. I actually thought it was quite clever. I like the way that it told the 4 or 5 stories, and they were all interwoven, but not interwoven as well. They connected but didn't connect.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea of there being trying to make Halloween traditions something that actually matters, that exists. So in the movie, whenever any character broke a Halloween tradition, that is when they got attacked or murdered, right? I thought that was kind of clever. I never really thought about, we're not big in Halloween here, so I never really thought about that. And I didn't know the Halloween rules, like keeping your jack-o'-lantern lit and all that stuff. So there's a couple of stories. Emma and Henry, Battlestar Galactica character.
That's where he's from. It's Apollo.
It's Apollo. No, not Apollo.
Apollo?
Is it Apollo?
No.
No, Apollo is Lee's name. It's oh gosh, I don't remember his name. Maybe it is Apollo. I don't know. He's the guy who gets stuck on Earth with no spoilers for Battlestar Galactica, but anyway, he's one of the pilots in Battlestar Galactica. Guys, cleaning up for Halloween at 10 p.m. is insane. What are we doing? That is, I'm glad she got murdered.
Oh my God.
You know, can we also say, you know, so
wait, hang on. Her mum was coming the next day.
It's Halloween.
And she was going to have an aneurysm.
It's Halloween.
How she described it.
It's Halloween in America.
Her mum was going to flip her lid if she saw that shit.
And then, you know, Hilo. I think that's Battlestar Galactica. I'm not having a stroke. That's his name.
Yeah. Hilo Agathon. I'm just looking it up.
Look, and then he's like that. You know, he's feeling a bit horny. He wants to have some romantic times, and he says, "All right, put on the tape." That's fucking wild.
Yeah,
that is. He goes upstairs. He starts watching porn, and he falls asleep while an evil pumpkin murders his wife. Wild. Absolutely. In the 2000s, you could just do whatever you wanted in a film. You could just put it in a film,
and they did.
And they would just have it.
This was labeled as a horror comedy.
Who labeled it as that? I didn't see that.
I'm pretty sure if you Google this movie, it is labeled as Google's a fucking garbage search engine, but it is labeled horror comedy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Zach, what was your favorite?
I really, even though I think the story itself wasn't great, I enjoyed the principal storyline just because I think his character was really well played. But also, I think I really enjoyed Brian Cox just getting fucked up by Sam at the end as well was quite enjoyable for me as well.
That was pretty fantastic. The principal, you know, his whole arc. The fat kid just walking and destroying pumpkins. How did they find a kid that just looks like the quintessential, like, Uglies, hateable 80s horror kid?
It's impressive. They're out there, man.
The amount of vomit he produced was so good.
They're out there and they want to be in front of a camera.
They need to be in front of
the camera.
They need to be there.
I want to touch
on it a lot, man.
I want to touch on the vomit because I was watching Scary Movie the other day with my fiance, and like in the 2000s, we were doing gross out stuff. Gross out things in film were all the rage.
Hell
and I'm so glad we don't do that anymore because it's oh, you miss it. You like the vomiting?
A little bit, man. A little bit of nostalgia there, you know. Like what I made you watch Team America.
Yeah,
dude, that vomit scene was legendary, dude.
Yeah, that whole movie is insane. That movie is just.
I say bring it back, man.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Wasn't there a movie that came out recently that you guys didn't like because of that reason? Was it the new not vomit, but like gross out shit? Was it the new Alien movie had a bit of a gross out scene?
I
thought you said Beck like hated a certain scene in that movie.
Beck despised the well, I suppose it is body horror kind of stuff. The creepy. Well, this is spoilers, but there's the monster at the end of the movie of Alien Romulus. She was very upset by because it was gross.
Actually, watched it again
it back
in
Did you?
And Shania also didn't like the end of that film. There is comedy.
It's great.
Maybe it is a horror comedy because there is comedy.
There's a bit of comedy. There is.
Next, where the principal cannot. He's given the kid the cyanide candy, the poison candy, like the Halloween poison candy, and he's trying to bury him in the backyard, and he just keeps getting distracted. You know, he gets distracted by his kid comes home and just starts screaming out the backyard. Like he screams, that Charlie Brown's an asshole.
That kid was so funny, dude.
And then we get what I kind of do like about the film is the neighbor comes and distracts him as well. And then later on, we see that from the neighbor's perspective. And
that was cool.
I did think like that was clever.
I do like that trope.
And everyone in that first scene is from the rest of the film. Like the werewolves nearly hit her in the car. That you don't see them, that you see the kids. Everyone's in the first film, so it is clever the way it all links together. I did think that, so he's trying to bury them, and they keep making noise, and he's like hitting them and trying to knock the kids out. It's very dark humor. There's
another body in there. Are we supposed to know who that other body is, or is it just another? He's just killed multiple kids, is he?
He's just a serial killer.
Yeah, gotcha. Yep.
Murdering people on Halloween. And later he obviously turns out to be the vampire as well.
So he managed to kill that woman with fake vampire teeth. Is that what we're believing?
Yes, he must have in that scene. Yeah, he's bitten her to death.
Yep.
I thought the fake out with the jack-o'-lantern to his son being a psycho, I didn't see that coming.
I thought it was definitely the kid.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I was shocked.
I like the principal story. I did think he was a good character.
The bus thing didn't do much for me.
Or the link to that the kids that are related to that as well.
Correct. Yeah, that entire sequence where they tell the story and they go down.
You didn't like that?
No, not really. And then the fact that the kids on the bus were still, well, I'm guessing they weren't alive. They're just like ghouls or whatever. But
what about the orgy with the hot dog? That did nothing for you?
The hot dog orgy?
That was funny.
Where they go to the house and
that was funny.
They're just having it. There's some drunk lady at the door.
Kids weren't funny. The fucking parents were hilarious.
The parents were hilarious. The other thing is we get the hard R again in the 2000s movie.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to determine what the hard R is.
Is that
because it's something very different in America?
Is that Rhonda the retard? She's not a retard. She's an idiot savant.
I've been calling my dog an idiot savant constantly since viewing this movie.
Retard is not the hard R.
Is that not the hard R?
That is not the hard R.
What's the hard R?
I'm not going to say it, but it starts with N and ends in R.
I kind of.
No idea.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got no idea.
That is the hard.
You're gonna have to.
I can't believe this movie is the hard.
I'll type it in Discord. Bro.
Don't type it in Discord. Okay, because we don't use that kind of that language anymore. It's not retard. It's disabled. But she wasn't. She was actually the smartest of all of them.
Yeah.
You can just say whatever you wanted in the 2000s, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did they drop F-bombs at any point?
No, I don't think so. No swearing other than the hard R. But it wasn't considered a swear back then.
What hard? I'm talking about the homosexual slur that starts with an F
in this movie.
Did they drop that? No,
I don't know. But they dropped it with gay abandon in the 2000s, bro, and 90s.
Yeah, but not in this movie, man.
No, I don't think they did.
Man, you're bringing up the hard R. You're bringing up the hard F.
I did not, dude. I did not bring up the hard R, dude.
Wait, we're talking about trick or treat, all right?
Oh my god, dude.
Apparently it's trick or treat. Is that what the little apostrophe means?
That's what the hard R
I'm going
is.
to call it
Trick or treat, yeah.
Because there's a hard R in the title, okay?
That's a soft R, you moron. But anyway.
And then, like, Rhonda's like a Halloween expert.
Who is?
Like the idiot savant.
Yeah, she knows her shit.
Predating Christianity, the Celtic holiday was celebrated on the one night between autumn and winter when the barrier between the living and the dead was thinnest and often involved rituals that included human sacrifice.
Was she an idiot savant?
And then she
said, my understanding was savants only smart in a single subject and nothing else. Was she
I think there's an element of the children being facetious there.
Yeah, gotcha.
I think she's probably just a bit strange. There's obviously something going on though, because later in the film she's just hanging out with the pumpkin guy.
Yeah,
just chilling, man.
Acting like they know each other. It's funny that this didn't work for either of you because this worked for me. When they went down, I thought they were real zombies at first. The kids pretending to be zombies.
You thought it was real?
I thought it was real.
Damn,
that's insane, dude. I saw it coming from 2,000 kilometers away.
Yeah.
I thought it was real. And then I thought after she hit her head, I was like, maybe she's going to be a witch or something. But obviously then no.
See, I thought when she hit her head, she died.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
That was what my initial thought was.
That's where I thought it was going.
I was like, oh, are the kids on the Halloween school bus, is that like the vampire we've seen? And like, are they the evil people?
I did think that as well. I thought all the evil people were the bus people, but that is also incorrect. Yeah,
but no, they're just zombies or ghouls or whatever. Ghouls.
Where did the kids get the money for such sick Halloween costumes? It was what I was thinking when they kind of coming back to haunt that girl.
Well, it was interesting again there that because they got 8 jack-o'-lanterns because there were 8 kids. So did they summon the kids? But then they kicked the jack-o'-lantern out. Is that what summoned them? I don't know.
Well, the jack-o'-lantern had relit somehow. I'm assuming from the ghouls.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they were summoned. They didn't really explain that, did they?
You didn't like when Rhonda was like, didn't let them in to save them?
No, I didn't.
She's cold, man. She's so
cold. Britt and I were both really looking forward to the blonde chick dying.
Yeah. She was very good at doing a very good eye roll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What did you guys think of the werewolves? What do we think?
It was interesting, man.
First thing I thought about the werewolves. First of all, I'm like, what is with this creepy peeping Tom kid?
Oh, yeah, at the very start.
Yeah.
But then I realized they were doing something a little clever because I rewatched the first half of the film before we did this podcast here. In that scene where he's being a peeping Tom, obviously you kind of they're showing off the actress's boobs and trying to distract you. They have pretty clever foreshadowing.
Okay.
Where she's going. One of the characters goes, I don't know why we drove out here when there are perfectly good guys in the city. And then another character says, fresh meat. The other character says, it's what we do every Halloween. Last year we were in Tampa. No, Janet, Tampa was 2 years ago. I remember because you puked doing a guy in his pickup truck. I ate some bad Mexican and it was a Jeep. That's another werewolf thing.
Yep.
Last year was San Diego. We dressed as sailors and ended up with sailors. Yeah, and Maria's sailor was a girl. So what? She had a nice ass. It all tastes the same to me anyway.
Yeah, that was clever.
So they're distracting you on the screen, and they're also, you got the foreshadowing. I had no idea they were.
That's only clever if you ever watch this movie more than once. That was not happening, bro.
Did you guys know they were werewolves? Did you pick that?
Like when they turned into werewolves, yeah.
I see. I had no idea. I knew they were luring men out.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Are you talking about before they ripped their skin off and turned into werewolves? Yeah, I had no idea.
And then I
thought they were vampires.
I thought maybe they were vampires too.
I thought they were vampires, and I thought that like, hey, they're gonna, this guy's pretending to be a vampire. And when he rocked up, when he got thrown across the forest and was dead, I was like, oh, okay. The real vampires found him out and killed him.
Mm.
But she's Little Red Riding Hood, so maybe we should have realized werewolves.
We're not that smart, Nick. We're not that smart.
Damn, dude. God, you're so clever.
So clever. It's your Halloween sex appeal, I suppose. The Halloween movies, horror movies have that.
Dude, they hit it all, man. They hit everything. I will give them that. Every Halloween, trope, they pretty much nailed.
Brian Cox. Was Brian Cox wearing a fake nose? I couldn't tell.
I think so, dude. I could not tell. I didn't think it was him at all. I just kept hearing his voice and I was like, that's fucking Brian Cox. But it did not look like him at all.
I think it was a fake nose. I love him as a grumpy old man not handing out candy.
Oh, so good.
That was great.
I really love that we see the other side of his story. I kind of knew we would because obviously at the start of the movie, you see him beg for help, right? You're like, okay, well, obviously we'll come back to that, right? What else did I love? I love when he double shoots the pumpkin man. Like he gets the pumpkin man down and he reloads the shotgun and he shoots him again. Because Brian Cox, he knows he's in a movie, right? He's like, I'm killing this thing for sure. I thought the pumpkin monster was the cruelest of all the monsters in the film. What did you guys think?
The cruelest? What?
Like he was the most, he was the meanest to his victim.
Well, he's enforcing the Halloween rules.
Other than the werewolves that tore apart their victims.
I mean, that's one. But think about
what you're talking about. How like he, tortured them and slit his ankles and shit.
Yeah, he gets his.
He dragged it out. He
gets his Achilles tendon. He does razor blades and glass in all these hands and everything. And that's bad, right? Don't get me wrong, that's bad. But you know what's really bad about what he did, and the worst thing you can do to a grumpy old man? Think about the cleanup Brian has to do tomorrow. All the writing all over his walls, all the jack-o'-lanterns rotting out the side of his house, picking up all the glass and the razor blades and everything. That's how you really piss an old man off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do love how quickly he manages to bandage himself the next day as well at the very end of the movie.
It's the same day.
Oh yeah, I suppose it's still Halloween now.
Because then we see the start of the film.
Yeah, that's true.
I foresaw, Mr. Captain Engrossed, never see it coming.
Yep.
I saw him stabbing the candy and did you guys see that one?
Yeah, of course. That was very obvious.
That was pretty obvious. There's a little thing homage here where Brian Cox says, "You got to be fucking kidding me," which is a line from The Thing.
Okay. Yep.
There you go.
Right.
Must be a big Thing fan.
Yeah.
Did you foreshadow him being the bus driver?
No, because it looked to me like the bus driver was in the bus when it crashed. So I don't know.
Did you not see? There was literally a scene of him crawling out of the water.
Is there?
Oh, was there?
Yep.
Oh, well, there you go. No, I didn't.
There was a scene of him crawling up the rocks out of the water.
Oh, okay.
You know when that shows all the masks bobbling up after it falls in?
Yeah.
2 seconds after that, there is a scene. There is a cut to him crawling out of the water.
I was thinking about the werewolves, man,
Yeah.
I was thinking about
the werewolves.
I was thinking about Rogue from X-Men,
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end, did you figure out he was a bus driver?
Yeah.
They spell it out with a photo.
Yeah.
There's a photo of it. So yes, I did figure it out. I didn't know why that was important. I guess it wasn't. Every time a Halloween tradition is disrespected in this movie, people get killed. Right? The first couple put the jack-o'-lantern out early. Yep. The teenagers put the jack-o'-lantern out early. The fat kid steals too much candy and breaks jack-o'-lanterns. Brian Cox isn't handing out candy.
Mm-hmm.
Why does the principal get killed? Just cause?
Well, hang on. Pumpkin Dude is the only one that kills people for breaking traditions. Everyone else doesn't.
Everyone else is just a coincidence.
Everyone else is just getting it's collateral damage.
Okay. So Pumpkin Man is the
only one who hates traditions being broken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What do you think about Pumpkin Man? It looked pretty cute.
What do we think of the practical shit in this movie. Like the werewolves and his pumpkin face was incredibly
I
disturbing.
thought pretty good for
For
2007.
2007.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, really, pretty well done.
This movie never got a major release. It's straight to DVD.
Did it
really?
baby.
It didn't even release anywhere in the US.
Yeah, it's a that's why it's a cult classic. It cost $12 million and it grossed $27,000 in the UK only.
That's crazy. He's just a made up villain, because like I know Pumpkinhead is a Halloween villain, but is he meant to be a Pumpkinhead?
Well, this was, I linked in a little chat the little student film that he made.
I didn't watch it.
He basically invented the idea of this pumpkin head person. I think he's got a name.
Even though Pumpkinhead existed.
They call him Sam when he was a student. It's obviously his idea. I liked the movie. I thought it really put me in the Halloween spirit, probably more so than the original Halloween, which was my other thought for this movie. The original or even the remake. I actually like the remake. Got a soft spot for it. Not the Rob Zombie one, obviously, because only good movies. Yeah, I thought it was. I enjoyed it. It really put me in the spirit. I thought there was a lot of. It was very Halloween-y. I give it that.
Yeah, they packed this thing to the gills with Halloween.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty clever script.
Yeah, I thought like some of the tying together was a bit sloppy for me.
Yeah.
So a lot of them seemed like individual stories that kind of didn't matter at all. Like the werewolves, like where's their tie-in? They drove past. Like that's it. The school bus tie-in, the kids don't tie in that much, but I guess at the end with Brian Cox, that kind of ties in. I mean, in terms of like, 5 individual Halloween stories put together in one movie, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Reminds me of like Tales from the Crypt, or something like that. And even though like they're not the deepest ties, I did enjoy that they do all kind of link into each other, even if it's somewhat ham-fisted at times. But I still really enjoyed the way they all linked in together and trying to figure it out.
It is better than having done like just 5 individual stories that had no connection whatsoever.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think it would be a better movie if it was just Pumpkinhead killing everyone the whole
No. I think I don't know how you would improve this movie. I think it's pretty good the way it is.
It's pretty good?
Yeah.
What do you think about putting on a porn tape? Can he not?
Dude, I don't know, man. He clearly his wife does not do it for him, so he has to fucking
get
shit
it up.
going with the wife, get shit going with the porn.
You can't get it up, so
no, you can't do it. Yeah.
That's wild. The 2000s were wild.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, guys. Any final thoughts, or should we go straight to ratings?
Anything else we want to talk about?
Well, I'm just looking at my notes. My first note is that's not good for your diabetes, which is a great line from the principal.
That is
He's yelling
hilarious.
at the kid.
I love the principal had some good lines. Is also just before that line, or just after that line, he says, "Don't waste a good lie on this. It's only candy."
Yeah.
You know what's sad?
What?
His kid's an orphan now.
That is sad, man.
And that's sad to think about.
They've got to do something about these werewolf deaths, man.
They're plaguing. This kid's going to grow up never being able to carve a pumpkin head into a human skull again.
They're plaguing the continental United States. It's insane. It is insane. We have previous X-Men going around town, luring men into the forests. Okay? Trump's got to build a wall. He's got to keep these werewolves out.
Yeah, make it out of silver.
Silver wall, baby. Boys, vampires or werewolves? What are we going for?
In terms of like a monster?
Yeah.
You asking
vampires
me
all fucking day.
Team Edward or Team Jacob right now?
I am.
Because I am Team Arpats all the way.
Team Arpats, baby.
Arpats is a heart.
Yeah, vampires all the way. I rewatched that like 5 months ago. It is a bad movie. It's a really bad movie. There's
not really many good werewolf movies, unfortunately. American Werewolf.
Because I think it's a dumb fucking monster.
Ginger Snaps, I think, is good.
American Werewolf in London is good, but it's not really good for the werewolf culture.
You know what the problem with werewolves is?
Speak to me.
they're so telegraphed. You know exactly when they're fucking coming out because there's a full moon.
Yeah.
Like, where's the fear? Like, once a month, dude? What are we doing here?
What they need to do is do what they did with like modern vampire movies, and they remix up the rules. You know, oh, we're not actually allergic to garlic, and you gotta you know, all modern vampires came from the Dracula novel, but the new vampires are completely different. The same thing they did with zombies. Zombies used to be, you know, are they Haitian? Voodoo, the voodoo raised from the dead, they would walk really slow. They would like decaying bodies. And then someone was like, let's make them really fast and want to eat humans and stuff. They didn't even used to want to eat humans, you know?
I did enjoy, I think you played it, Nick, the Quarry's take on werewolves, I think was enjoyable. Even like, you know, it's a video game, so, you know, the story's not amazing, but I thought that was like a semi-interesting take on werewolves.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed The Quarry.
Spoilers if you haven't played The Quarry, it's werewolves.
Big spoilers.
Huge spoilers.
Dude, do you want some IMDb trivia on this movie?
Yeah, absolutely.
The kid with the lollipop in his mouth at the beginning who was peeping.
Yes.
He played Sam the rest of the movie.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
That little peeping Tom.
Most of the jack-o'-lanterns made of foam or ceramic, so I don't know how.
Sam's coming for him. You got to use a pumpkin.
Man. Apparently, the performers on the bus were actually all kids with disabilities or injuries, which is kind of nice.
Okay.
And apparently, they had it's nice that they used actual disabled people to play disabled people.
That is nice. Good representation.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
The fight between Sam and Brian Cox was an 8-year-old stunt woman as well as an adult stunt woman. That's interesting.
Yeah, I did notice that at one point when the pumpkin is on Brian Cox's shoulders, it is a lot taller all of a sudden. Yeah, I did notice this one scene where it's clearly a lot bigger. Yeah.
Oh, apparently all the candy that were filled with poison or razor blades, they invented a candy as to not to like... I'm assuming no candy manufacturer wanted their candy to be used.
Oh, yeah, that's probably fair.
In that way. Yeah. All right, that's all the trivia we're getting.
Is there any more than Mars? Doesn't Mars own every candy bar? Or is it different in America?
Hershey's in America.
Okay.
There's a few, man. There's a few.
Okay, but this Hershey's is bad. Anyway, let's talk.
It is bad.
Okay, there's a few there. It's only in Australia where it's all owned by Mars. Okay. Let's go on. I think unless you've got anything else to contribute, let's go straight into ratings.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
Trick or treat. Jordan, what do you think?
I said before we started recording, I'm going to do this rating on the fly because I hadn't thought of one.
You're on the fly right now?
I'm flying right now. This gets a 3, man, which is probably higher than you thought I was going to give it.
Yeah.
But
it is higher than I thought you were going to give it.
Yeah, you were saying some not very nice things.
Famously know, 4.5 is the highest I can rate a movie.
It is true.
You literally interrupted the summary to be like, I hate this movie.
No, I said this movie was not a treat, and I said that because I thought it was funny. That's why I said that, bro. I'm doing this for the audience and for the laughs. 3, man. It gets a 3. You're right, man. It hits a lot of Halloween, heartstrings. It could have been tighter with the story. But I did enjoy the majority of this film. So that's why it gets a 3, man.
3.
Yep.
Above average.
Yep.
There you go. Zach.
For me, this is a loving Halloween anthology tribute. Everyone's having a great time. It's not taking itself too seriously, and it knows it. But at the same time, it's referencing a lot of horror classics. For me, I'm also going to give this a solid 3.
Whoa.
Damn. There you go. Solid 3. 2 3s.
2 3s.
Wow. Trick or treat. That's what it's called. It's not trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
They don't have the O there. Trick or treat. I didn't know what to expect. It's a cult classic. It's got a 3.5 4 on the old letterbox. It surprised me. I think it was better than what I was expecting. I didn't have high expectations. It put me right into the Halloween spirit. I will say that. I think more than if I'd watched like a slasher or something. I thought it was very good. One of the few movies that I thought was really felt Halloweeny. Halloween was a theme of the actual movie, right? It's not just a Halloween monster. They were talking about Halloween. They're enjoying Halloween. I didn't think it's as good as all these people on Letterboxd, though. It was fun, but maybe I'll watch it again next year because it's fun, but it's not I wouldn't say it's a fantastic film. I'm gonna give it 2.5. A 2.5 out of
What? That's what I thought Jordan was going to give it.
That's crazy.
Like, it was fun.
We were talking this up so much, and you go to a 2. You go below me.
It was a fun film.
That's insane.
How dare you?
It was a fun film, and the little burlap sack was fun. I don't like the vomiting and the gross out humor so much. I thought that the ghouls, the CGI on the zombies and the ghouls looked a bit lame. It was really gross when Brian Cox's hands were all like covered in glass and he couldn't undo the lock. I just don't like that kind. Like he got stabbed in the foot. I just don't like that kind of thing. I prefer my slashers. I just want them to Jason comes in there and for all the bad that people give on Jason and say to Jason, he's killing his victim straight away. He's crushing him in a bed or he's banging him against a tree. It's not all those little cuts, I prefer. I hate little cuts. They get a little cut on your finger. It's the worst in the world. And that's what this movie was like. It was like a bunch of little cuts on my fingers.
That's crazy.
I did enjoy it though. I just think it's an average film.
Yeah. I feel like I've been all I've been doing the week leading up to watching this is playing the Silent Hill 2 remake and watching Long Legs. And it was just nice to watch a horror film that didn't feel oppressive the entire time, you're consuming it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there you go.
Crazy, dude. I'm shocked.
Trick or Treat, 2.5. 2.5 out of 5. That's a perfectly fine score. That's an average film. An average life.
You just don't like gore, man. I mean, that's an interesting.
Yeah, I'm not a gore.
You don't like gore. You don't like gore. You don't like gore.
He's not a gore whore.
I'm not a gore man.
I get it, man.
Before we go, because I didn't speak about this before the episode, I have seen quite a few films. I've been on holiday. I've been on 2 10-hour flights. So I've seen heaps of films. So I wanted to quickly talk about a couple of, not all the films, but just a few films and things.
Yeah, lay it on us, bro.
Do it.
First thing that I've watched that absolute recommend. Go out there. It's on the old Netflix, or it might be somewhere else, depending on what country you're watching from. Australian comedy Fisk. You guys seen Fisk?
Oh yeah, no. I'm familiar.
No.
Hilarious. Give it a watch, Jordan. It kind of reminds me of the.
It's what the Australian Office should be.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It reminds me of old school UK shows, like the IT Crowd, that sort of thing, that kind of style of show. I think it's cool that an Australian show is kind of caught up to that, the kind of the Office type drama thing. I think it's quite funny. I really enjoy it.
Aaron Chen's very good in it.
Yeah, Aaron Chen's good, but I think they're all good. All the characters in it really work for me. I watched It's What's Inside, Netflix film. Have you guys seen anything about this?
No.
I don't think so.
So it is a Zoomer film. So all the characters are kind of unbearable.
Oh, no.
Zoomer type characters. And they're at a pre-wedding party when an old friend shows up who they've wronged in the past. They're all rich kids or entitled rich kids. And he was like an honor student. And he has a mysterious briefcase that when they use it, they change bodies. Right?
Oh my God.
And they're using it to play a game of like werewolf where they're trying to figure out who's who. It was okay. It was interesting premise. Worth a watch. I did only give it a 3. Other people.
So you thought it was better than Trick or Treat, huh?
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, wow.
Potentially.
Wow.
It's
probably no gore in it.
It's kind of like Bodies. If you guys have seen that with the, if you can't stand the Zoomer type characters, it can be a bit frustrating. But
it is hard to watch. The Zoom
I
is.
don't mind it. They are hard to watch. The Joker 2. Oh,
Oh no, I haven't seen it yet, dude.
what happened? Well, I won't go into it, but not a recommend from me. I do not recommend the Joker.
Wow.
It was a bad.
I do want to watch it just to see how bad it is.
Here's one though I will recommend, and then I won't talk about it anymore. But I did watch a lot. I think I watched 1, 2, 3. I've watched over 20
Oh my
films
fucking
since our
God,
last
dude.
podcast. Strange Darling. Have you guys heard of this?
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Have you heard about this? Have you seen this?
Never.
Nah.
No.
It's interesting. It's an interesting film. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. It kind of getting made fun of online because at the start of the film, they announced that it's shot on 70 millimeter.
Oh, nice.
People are like, oh, that's so lame to do, but that didn't bother me at all.
No, you're there for it.
It's just basically about there's a serial killer and a man and a woman, and they have a one night stand, and then the serial killer is trying to kill one of them. Kind of Tarantino-y, definitely influences there. Worth a watch though. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, cool.
I thought it was very, very fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just waiting for Borderlands to get on free to streaming.
Borderlands.
I need to see it. I need to see how bad it is.
Oh, why don't we cover it?
Yeah, we can cover Borderlands, man.
Why don't we cover it?
A $120 to $130 million budget movie that box office $33 million.
We'll cover that soon within the next couple of episodes. I do think though that for our next episode, we should do Serenity.
I thought you were going to say Blues Brothers.
Well, we could also do Blues Brothers.
No, I need a break from that.
Serenity.
Is this one Charles wants to jump on board with?
We get our guest star on board, so we should.
Huge.
We should try to set that up if we can. But with all further ado, enjoy Halloween. If it is Halloween, or it's Halloween next week or the week after, whenever it's Halloween soon. And it's just Deductible Opinions signing off.
Yeah, go to PAX, boys.
Go to PAX 2025.
Go to PAX.